for the EV, ride around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me, sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world a makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see. Switch that V6 for the EV, ride around my city. You should come ride with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me, sip water like a fish, sip box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world a makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess, how can I breathe? Smoke in the air, pure gasoline. I see the news, see what you read. Change gotta come, put that on me and watch me educate. Yeah, we been could've started, but it's never late. Do it for my kids, yeah, let's set it straight. Do it for your kids, gotta set it straight. It's time to regulate, we need change now. We need solar, we need EV in the game now. Make it changes so the earth we know can stay around. Make it change cause we had no time for playing around. Let's quit the playing around.
What's good, family? What is good? Your boy is in the building. Crazy news that dropped about an hour ago. Sorry I couldn't go live ASAP. When that news dropped, family, I was in the gym getting my work in, gotta hit the weight, stay in shape, just in case the Hawks need to call me up, be an enforcer. I dropped the link, man, because I know people want to come say something. I know my guy Analyst, he's upset right now, guys. Analyst is upset right now. Follow the link. Come on the show, man. Tell me how you feeling. Travis Schlenk is out as president of basketball operations for our Atlanta Hawks, but he is not out of the organization. Landry Fields is running dual roles as of now. And let me bring my guy Analyst on, man, because I know he upset right now. I know he. I know he upset right now, man. I know my guy's upset, man. But check it, man. Check it. Before I let Analysts go, listen. I know I'm clowning right now. I know I'm clowning, right? I know y'all have heard me say Travis needs to get up out of here. Woo 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 woo. But let me keep it real. I'm going to give you my honest opinion of what I think is happening. Obviously, I'm just speculating as a fan. I'm not on the inside. I don't have no inside knowledge. This is my theory, right? I really believe that Travis Schlenk has I really believe he has way bigger aspirations. And being the president of basketball operations, being the general manager, I think he personally wants to move up in the higher executive roles. I really don't think Travis wants to deal with the day-to-day operations of being the president of basketball operations. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with trying to move up in your career, move up to a better position, I would say. I have no problem with that. I understand that. That day-to-day operations, it's not for everybody. It probably takes up, and I'm just assuming, if being a coach, being an assistant coach takes up, I would say probably 80% of your day. I can't even imagine what being a general manager and then being the president, because being the president of basketball operations, you got way more responsibilities than just who on the roster. You run the whole, basically you run the organization basically you are the owner's mouthpiece. Basically, is you and the owner. That's what it really boils down to. So I could understand if Travis is like, you know what, I want to move up. As far as my career, as his career, he wants to move up in the game. I have no problem with that, being a executive like that. And also, it doesn't make sense. It wouldn't make sense to fire Travis, given he has 2 years left on his contract. That's not smart business. It's just like getting rid of the head coach. You still got to pay him. It's a smart business, no, but sometimes, especially with head coaches, it has to be done. So I have no problem with Travis moving up. You know what I'm saying? So it's not like Tony Ressler fired him. It's not like he quit. He probably saw opportunity to move up as an executive, and he took that opportunity. And I can't be mad at him. As much as I rag on Travis about this roster, now it'd have been different if he would have quit the whole organization. Then I got a different outlook. But with him moving up to a higher executive position, I can't really be mad at that as far as him progressing his career. They said it's because of personal reasons. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like I said earlier, Kay, being the president of like you in charge of everything Atlanta Hawk basketball. You in charge of everything from players, coaches, to the cleanup crew, the halftime crew. Obviously, you got people who work for you who you delegating that stuff to, but you still overall in charge. Ticket prices, like you in charge of all that. So I can understand if he's like, you know what, I'm tired of all this day-to-day stuff. He saw opportunity to move up higher within the organization. And Travis, somebody, man, to me, he looks like somebody who wants to be a part owner of a team. You know what I'm saying? I don't really see Travis as a day-to-day grinder type of guy. But now that I said all that, let me go to the youngest in charge, the young Atlanta analyst. And I think if you go to analyst page right now, if you go to analyst YouTube page, shout out, it's the Atlanta analyst on YouTube. I think he has a video up there crying when he found out that Travis left. So you might want to go to his page, check that out. Make sure you leave a like on that video so we can get it to go viral. You know what I'm saying? I'm just messing with you, analyst. Talk to me, man. What's your thoughts, man? Well, I know what your thoughts is. Tell the chat what your thoughts is. What's good, White Mike? Shout out, man, in the building.
This is an utter disgrace. Okay? Utter disgrace. I'm not gonna lie, I was asleep, and I felt my phone. I knew someone was calling me, and I turned on. I looked, and it was Matt. I said, "Oh, okay, Matt called." I said, "Let's let me call him back." I looked at my phone before I could do that. Before missed call could show up on my phone, I looked, and it's a Woj tweeted that Travis. I could not believe it. Matt texted me, Travis gone. I said, the devil is alive. So I got the call back. Bruh. Let me say this. This is something that dumb organizations do. And by the way, Damon, I looked, senior advisor role is not a step up from president. That is like 18 steps down.
Yeah, but my point is analyst, but my point was this. Maybe he doesn't want to deal with the day-to-day grind of being a president, man. Like that's a everyday grind, and it probably take up. And I'm gonna be honest, it probably take about 90% of your day. Like,
yeah,
within 24 hours. I'm not talking about he just doing 8 hours in the office. Like that job doesn't stop.
Demond. It's different. Yeah. Go ahead, analyst. I'll go. This is different.
Yeah, I've been trying to find the words all morning when I saw this that Demond was. I'm trying to find the words. I don't know where we're going as an organization. For the first time in a while, I don't know where we're going. Landry Fields has a totally different outlook on basketball. Okay, and I will remind you guys, when we were seeing the Rudy Gobert rumors and we saw that big trade package, I mean, I don't think it was any coincidence who was negotiating that right when he got his promotion to general manager. Okay, bruh. If Ainge tried to fleece Travis for Jaylen Brown for Trae Young, what in the world do you think? I guarantee you, Ainge is on the phone right now with Landry talking about trade me Trae and Murray for Olynyk and Jordan Clarkson. Like, I'm gonna sum it up right here. I am disappointed in our cheap owner.
What? Say that again. Say that again, because when I was saying cheap owner, no. That was just the other night. That was just the other night. I was saying how cheap this owner is, analyst, and you was against me on that.
No, I wasn't against you.
Yes, you was.
I wasn't against. I said it. I said Ressler is cheap. Okay, he didn't want to go into the. Listen, I am outraged right now. Okay, I am outraged. This is just this cheap owner is running this organization into hell. Okay.
Yeah.
Running this organization. This is beyond through the ground. This is beyond through the ground. We're not. We are heading for Hades itself. This is look, you know.
The devil is a lie, analyst.
When I woke up, that's exactly what I said. When I saw that I was hoping that it was a dream. Okay, I was hoping. I was like, Lord, please do. This is go ahead.
What you got on it, Matt? And then when Matt finished, give me your thoughts, White Mike.
Okay, Damon, I do this every day, Damon. I sit at home or I sit at work in my office, and I decide, they call it succession planning, and this dude ain't performing, I'm gonna put him in an advisory role, or I'm gonna put him what else do we say, consultant or advisor or whatever. Basically, we're just going to put him in another role so we don't have to give him his buyout in the next 30 days, because most contracts, when you get fired, you have a 30-day buyout. I don't want to give him his $14 million today, so I'm going to give him some role, some auxiliary role where I have 2 years or 3 years to pay him out his money. 1. 2.
Hey, Matt.
Athletic.
Hey, Matt, I'm about to bring this dude on, man. I want you to read his I want you to read his name, bro.
Wow. I can't even talk about that for a second. But hold on.
Go and finish your thought. Go and finish your thought. Okay. Go and finish your thought, Matt. Then we go to White Mike. Then we'll go to Ticket.
Yeah. Okay. So pretty much, Travis got fired, and they don't want to give him his $14 million buyout, so they put him in this fake made up position. So they have a couple years to pay him out his money. 1, 2. I'm telling y'all, this Atlanta Hawks team is about to change dramatically.
This is
the Athletic, Yahoo Sports. They're already reporting that Travis and Landry had multiple disagreements about core players this season. Landry wanted to trade Bogdanovich, Bogey, who we all love, and a first round pick for Derek White that Travis had to go in and stop him from doing last year. So right. I can only imagine what this dude is going to do to this team this year. Jalen Johnson, AJ Griffin, man, they're gone, because Landry has already said he values defense, right? He values defense and IQ over. He said Travis values offensive players and stylistic. Style. I value more the grit, the grinders, the defenders. I said, what? You don't win with Tony Allen's. You win with Kevin Durant's. And then lastly, the only reason, and Demond, I want to get this straight on the record, and this came from Landry's own mouth. The only reason he's here is because when Jeff Peterson left the organization, we had an opening for assistant GM. He said he was with the Spurs. He was a scout with the Spurs. He said there was at a game watching some player, and he said Tony Ressler's son, Nick Ressler, who reports have already come out that he has a major voice in the organization. He said he sat with Landry. They watched a couple of basketball games together. They was talking, and he said he got a text a couple weeks later saying, "Hey, would you be interested in possibly an assistant GM role with the Hawks? Because we got an opening." Oh hell, of course I would be open for an assistant GM job with the Hawks.
Matt, now do you
That's
think
how he got
do you
recommended.
think that's smart?
Recommended.
Do you think that's smart, Matt?
Hell, no, it's not. But
No,
that's what I'm
don't
saying.
say
That's
no.
where
Say
we're
what you
headed as
want.
an organization.
Say the whole
Ressler.
thing. Say the whole thing. Say what you was gonna say for real. Say the whole thing. I need the hell no. Let me hear it.
Hell no, it's fucking stupid. But that's where we're headed as an organization. That a 33-year-old billionaire owner's son can go up to somebody that they're friends with and get them over here, and then 2 years later make them the GM. That's what type of organization we got.
Well, maybe Travis. I'm gonna hold this thought.
Ressler needs to sell the team.
I'm gonna hold this thought because I'm about to say something in defense of Travis, but I want to get everybody's thoughts. Go ahead, White Mike. What's your thoughts, man?
I'm gonna agree with Matt. There's way more to this than somebody. First off, that's not an upgrade in position.
Okay.
And secondly, obviously, Ressler and they no longer have the same vision that Travis has, and I don't know about these trades supposedly or whatever. Here's what I do know: Landry's 34 years old, unproven. I'm all about somebody getting a chance, but this seems rushed. This seems quick. I have to believe that there's a falling out of some sort between the Ressler family and Travis. Again, it brings more dysfunction to our franchise. It brings more uncertainty to our franchise. And now all we're going to be doing is basically the word's going to get out like it already has, what Matt was saying, where we're in this fire sale mode to just trade to trade. And that's when you start getting pennies on the dollar for your assets. And, you know, I'm upset about it because I do think Ressler's cheap. I think that the back half of our roster is pure trash. It got exposed when we got injuries, and that's why we have been on the downfall ever since. The roster wasn't built correctly, but more than that being Travis's fault, that's Ressler's fault. And the problem is we can't put Ressler in an advisory role because he owns the damn team. And so we ship Travis off and make him the scapegoat because it's just what they said. They don't want to fire him and make it look and owe him the money and make it look like the damn hell. I don't know what we're going to look like.
Cheap.
But what I'm scared we're going to look like now is we're going to look like the 1980 New York Knicks, where we just going to play defense and foul the hell out of everybody and score 80 points a game. And that shit don't work in today's NBA. That don't work.
Hey,
today's NBA is an offensive game.
We're about to be the Baltimore Ravens.
And I'm not going to be happy about it. I have to believe there's some trade that's in the works that either Travis was not going to sign off on, and so they've decided to move Travis out of the way. So this is just the first move in what's going to be several moves over the next few months. And this Atlanta Hawks organization and team is getting ready to change. And I do not believe it's going to change for the better. I think we're gonna go through some tough times. Y'all take it from there.
Go ahead, Ticket. Ticket, can you hear me? He must have froze up. Go ahead, Point. We can't hear you, Point. Point, we can't hear you.
Point need to fix that horrible name.
Point,
that's what they need to do.
We can't hear you, but until Point, when Point and Ticket get their stuff together, I'll bring them on. But let me go back. What I want to say was this: when Matt was talking, and the caveat. Well, let me caveat off of what everybody said. One thing that we all got in common, that we all agree with, that even everybody in the chat agreeing with, the organization, like I've been telling y'all for months, is cheap. And you cannot compete in today's NBA being cheap. The best you can do is build your core off of draft picks, cheap contracts. But after that, once you got your core players established, your 2 or 3 established, now you got to go out and spend this money, because to get these impact veterans that we always talk about, that costs money. Because guess what? Those veterans they're valuable to a team, but they got years in the game, which means a minimum for them is going to cost you 10, 12, 15 million per. That's what it's going to cost. And you're going to have to spend the money. And and another thing, when you draft these players and you develop this talent, you cannot let these dudes just up and leave. That's why with the Kevin Huerter move, I told y'all that when they first did it, it was a money move. I told you that. I told you it's a money move. And let me tell you something else. The more I think about it, we really, before we make trades, they probably need to replace the coach first before you trade a Kevin Huerter, because I think
baby.
Yeah, and this one I'm agreeing with Nat. I'm agreeing with Matt and analysts on this. I think Kevin Huerter, and I'm always use his contract as an example. I think Kevin Huerter is a victim of Nate's system. I believe if he played we see him playing another coach, and you see the production that he gives you in Sacramento, that matches his contract. Or you could say he might be playing maybe slightly above his contract. But in Atlanta, under Nate McMillan, he wasn't getting it. And it's not due to his talent. It's due to the way that we're set up offensively. So I believe that Nate, this what we need to do. Okay? And let me know what y'all thinking. Okay, hold up. Ticket back. Let me let Ticket get his point out, and then I'll finish with mine. Go ahead, Ticket.
Greetings, fellas. How y'all doing on this beautiful day?
Wow.
Everybody good?
I don't want to hear no green. Just go ahead, Gerald. Just go ahead.
Go, yeah, Gerald. Just go on to your point, Gerald.
Everybody had good breakfast? Oh, hey, man. I'm glad he out of there, bro. I'm so glad he don't control that roster no more. But all seriousness, he did a good job, like, establishing, like, a foundation, like, through the draft and stuff. But now we at the point where we need somebody that's a little bit better in making in-season adjustments as far as the roster goes. That seemed to be.
Gerald froze up again.
Yeah, because he's forgetting that Tony Ressler ain't gonna spend no damn money.
Can y'all hear me?
Exactly.
Hey man, hey man,
can y'all hear me?
Hey, he said, White Mike said your internet bad because Tony Ressler won't spend no money, bro.
Anyway. But big man don't cost that much money. But
if it's gonna put us in the tax, Tony say cut it, bro.
That's right.
Exactly.
Well, we needed
not happening. Not happening.
We needed a big man since the Eastern Conference Finals, bro. And that need wasn't addressed at all. And one of our biggest weaknesses is we get killed on the boards a lot.
Well, we
need a big man since Kevin Willis left.
What? Huh?
We need a big man since Kevin Willis left.
Well, I'm saying I can't blame Travis for that. Travis won the GM. But yeah, that's something that we needed. We needed a backup point guard. I mean, I know we got Aaron Holiday, but he's not like a floor scorer and defender. My boy Matt, every time I say that, he says, well, that's not in Travis's vision. If you don't like the vision, fire Travis. Lo and behold, look like somebody else.
Cool.
Like
that's cool.
That vision is gone.
But Gerald,
guess what? You get to see Landry's vision now.
But Gerald, I'm telling you, Landry Fields, I already know what his vision is.
Hey, hold on. Hey, before we get into it, we got a new guest. We got RJC up in the building. Talk to me, RJ. What's your thoughts, my guy?
Man, what's up, y'all? Man, I've been following y'all for a minute, man. All y'all really be hitting on really good points. But, man, I think this was the right decision that had to be made, man. It had to be made. Here's the reason why.
No need for the shirt, then.
Hey, man. Hey, I'm repping the team, bro. not a specific person, just a team.
Thank you.
Exactly.
That man.
Listen, man.
Oh, man.
I will give Travis this type of credit, though. I will give him this credit on this. Dude did what he could do as far as building the foundation. I think one of y'all had mentioned it. He did build a strong foundation, but now we need somebody that can make in-game adjustments. One of the biggest things that's really hurt this team right now, man, is a lack of length. When you got a guy who's your superstar, he's your superstar. I got 5 Trae Young jerseys. Bro, we need some length, man. We too small. We are too small. We need some length at that center position, no doubt. And I think by bringing in the guy that's really gonna handle this, man, I really think it's gonna elevate the team, man. I really do.
I agree,
man. I think we just need to.
What gives you that confidence?
What?
Somebody got to spend money.
What gives you that confidence?
I'm gonna tell you what gives me the confidence in this. For one, he just saw Travis Schlenk lose his goddamn job. That's number one. He just saw Travis Schlenk lose his job.
And guess what? He under the same cheap owner. Under the same cheap owner. That's not spending no money, bro.
Hey, listen. I feel what you're saying about the cheap owner, but I just watched Alex Anthopoulos win a World Series with a cheap ass owner. Hey, if you can find the talent, money don't matter. You got to find the talent, man. Whether that comes through drafting, whether it comes through bringing in guys that just get hot. Because that's what happened with the Braves, man. They just got hot. They brought in the right pieces and they got hot. If this guy can do that, hey, man, I'm all for it, man. I'm all
RJ
for it.
need to be on this show full time.
But here's the problem.
But so last.
Hold on. Go ahead, White Mike and then Matt.
Here's the problem. Here's the
you
problem.
right after White Mike, Matt.
Here's my problem with that, and I'm hopeful as anybody, and I always root for the Hawks, and I hope they turn this into a positive. My problem is this: I'm not so sure Ressler and Travis didn't butt heads, and that Landry being so young, he just gonna do what the hell Ressler says and go that route. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care what y'all say. We need big men. We need all this. We need money. We got to spend it. And if we don't spend it, I don't give a damn if Pat Riley comes over here. We ain't going to get there.
What you got, Matt? And then I'm going to go after you, Matt.
To that point, right? So, okay, I want a big man. We can't go over the tax. That's clear, right? So then you got to look at who's getting paid. So y'all all want to keep Capella, right? So that means more than likely you're going to have to move Collins, which they're already going to do, or what you really should have done was if not pay Hunter, let him, you know what I'm saying, and not pay him at all, Tony Snell, or replace him with Nicholas Batum, then we could go out and go get y'all 4 or 5 big men that y'all wanted us to get. You know what I'm saying? So you got
hold on, Matt. I said back up big. That's what I've always said. I never said a starter. Now the starter was when I wanted Ayton, but I said even after the conference finals, go a new Pat City and look. And on this show, I always say a back up big man.
That don't cost a lot of money.
It ain't gonna cost a lot, but go ahead.
Okay, so you're gonna have to shift. You're gonna have so even if I go get a backup big, that means I have to shift right? Because he's not a center, right?
Was cheap in the building.
So I have to shift him to the backup 4, rid of Jalen Johnson. I gotta get rid of Jalen Johnson. I gotta get rid of John Collins, put him at the 4. But I'm saying the team that you're building looks completely different than the team that's currently constructed. 1, 2.
It needs to be different.
It's just about
right, Gerald, you gonna see.
It's about allocation of funds. It's about allocation of funds. So Travis put all the money on the perimeter, right? So Landry's probably gonna put that money on the front court. So
Landry ain't finna put no money nowhere. Landry ain't finna do nothing, bro.
We finna be $80 million, bro.
Let me tell you right now. Let me tell y'all right now, man.
I'm talking about with the money that they already have.
Watch this, man. Watch this. Let me tell y'all what. Listen. Let me tell you what we need to do. Okay. And I put it in the chat right now. Tony Ressler and his son, whatever his son name, Nick, whatever son name. If they care about the organization, which they should, because is at the end of the day for Mr. Ressler is still an investment. He needs right now. He should already looking for a person to replace Travis as the president of basketball operations. Landry Fields is just a lame duck right now. He's not gonna make no moves. Let me change that. He's not gonna make no major move. He's not gonna make no major move without without the owner signing off on it. But what I'm saying is this dude, Landry Fields, he ain't never been no real GM for nobody.
He's terrible.
So how the hell?
Exactly.
How the hell?
But Damon,
I wouldn't say.
But Damon, if they
how
didn't
the hell?
Gerald, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, Gerald.
He cannot be.
Listen, if they didn't want to pay,
he cannot be the president of basketball operations. This dude ain't even been a real GM by himself nowhere. He ain't really made no. He ain't really made.
Yes, man.
They said we're not gonna have a president, Damon.
He's a yes man.
There's no
And
president.
what I'm saying is this, Matt. When they say we're not gonna have a president, one, to me, that's a sign of like it's like we cutting cost. Okay, he don't want to pay somebody to do the job. You cannot have Landry Fields, who this is his first time being a general manager. Now you're gonna task him to be the GM and the president. When the president, to me, the most important person in your front office is the president. He the one who dictating stuff. He laying out the map for the organization. He the one who is that bridge between the organization and the owner. Because at the end of the day, your owner, that's why I was telling y'all in the chat, if his son is making recommendations, that's a problem to me. Because if I'm the president, I will listen to him because he's the owner's son. But guess what? It's gonna go just like this, in one ear, right out the other. Because I'm like, bro, who are you? An owner should not be dabbling unless the owner is, a former player or something. Should not be dabbling in day to day. That's why you hired the president of basketball operations. That's his job. He run all that.
And then Damon,
to me, that's an ownership issue.
Travis, Damon, are you the president? And the owner's son comes to you and say, "Hey, Damon, you got to open it for this job. I want you to interview this guy for the job." You're not gonna say no. You're gonna say,
no, I'm
gonna
interview him. Sure. And guess what? I'm not gonna hire him. Simple as that. I'm gonna say, I interview him. He didn't fit he's not what I'm looking for the organization. Thank you for the recommendation, and I'm gonna keep it moving. And this is what I'm saying, Matt. When you maybe this just me and chat, tell me if I'm crazy. That's why I harp on the Nate McMillan hire. If I'm in charge, okay, and my job is on the line, I don't care what the fans think. I'm going to get the coach that fit my vision, because at the end of the day, the fans not going to get fired. I'm going to get fired. So I'm going down swinging. So guess what? When the owner say, Tony, I got to let you go. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to say, thank you for the opportunity. But inside my heart, I'm like, you know what? I tried my way with the personnel I wanted, and it didn't work. Look at every organization, bro, especially, and Ticket can attest to this, especially like in football. When them general managers come in, the first thing they say is, hey, I ain't draft this quarterback. Hey, this ain't my coach. Mm-hmm. What do? They get that coach and that quarterback like that 1 year, and then they go looking for their own people. Well, and that's what I was saying. And that's what I was saying about. That's what I was saying about. Nate. Huh?
That's what's about to happen with Nate end of the year, and then he gone.
Nate, listen.
We already know that.
Travis should have never hired Nate. That's my whole point. I've been trying to get across to y'all. He don't fit your vision. Yeah, he don't fit your plan. He don't fit the way you like to play ball. And then most importantly, he is, and I hate to say it because I'm a Nate supporter.
I don't think Trey know how to.
He is out. He is outdated. He's outdated. But now with all this coming out, you know what I really think? You know what I really think now? I think Travis, and this is me giving Travis credit. Now, knowing what I've read now, I really think that Travis, I think his hands was tied on some moves.
Thank you.
I don't think Travis wanted to get rid of Kevin Huerter. Yeah. I think Travis had to work with what he had. And I'm giving him credit. Now that knowing what I know now, I think Travis The reason he goes signs people like Frank Kaminsky is because the owner won't give him no money to go get nobody else that's better.
Yeah,
we could have used a mid-level exception, and that's like, don't go over the tax. Like,
and I'm gonna tell you though,
Hey.
White Mike and y'all really hit on some good points because I do agree with y'all with that. There is something going on with Ressler to the reason why he doesn't want to spend the money. There is something going on with that. I don't know if it's just because he doesn't see it as a good investment or what, but it is something going on with that. And I definitely do think, as we all know, the Kevin Huerter situation, man, that was definitely a money move. That wasn't more so a talent issue. It was more so a money thing. So if that's our issue as a team, if that's one of our issues, man, we're going to have some real problems. If we got an owner that ain't going to spend no money, that's a whole nother ball game.
But think about this, RJ, White Mike, Ticket. I don't know. I don't think Matt old enough, but think about it. Before Ressler, we had another cheap owner, the ASG. They was cheap. It was just 5 of them fools as one ownership group, cheap. I'm gonna keep it a buck. The last time we had the owner who was really about trying to do what he could do for this team to win, and I hate to say it, was probably Ted freaking Turner. Okay,
yeah.
Because Ted Turner was the one who put the Hawks on television. Okay, but besides that, I can't think of an owner who was really out here, really trying to win. Tony Ressler bought the team. He talked a good game as usual, but we all do know at the end of the day, for these owners, for a majority of the owners, these sports teams is just investments. They just hobbies. They only care about winning because
they care about profit.
Unless you the Lakers owners, man. I tell you, man, the Lakers, I've watched them spend money and they've been trash.
Yeah.
So, we need to say, hey, look, man.
Well, she complained. She even complaining about that now.
Yeah, she's complaining about it. She really is. She's just like, yo, like, I'm spending the bread with my talent at. So, for us, man, but like I say, man, that's a scary thought to me, though, man. If it's our owner, that's the issue. That's a scary thought, man. And I would hate to have to go down because you can't. I mean, who gonna fire you? You know what I'm saying? You gonna fire yourself? That's a scary thought, man.
Yeah. And the fact that Travis even entertained the owner's son making a recommendation about who should be an assistant GM, that blows my mind. Because if I was the president of basketball operations, that'd have been in my contract. Like, bro, don't come to me. I'm in charge of hiring. I don't need your assistant. It ain't like his son. It ain't like his son has previous experience in some type of basketball organization. So guess what? Like I said, that
sounds a lot like, to me, the same thing that happened with the Lakers when Magic Johnson was there. A lot like.
Yeah, but see, it's different. It's different when I'm listening to a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest.
No, what I'm saying is that Magic was saying that other people were getting into what Magic was trying to do. Magic
that was Rob Pelinka.
Right. Well, it was Rob Pelinka, and
they had their beef going on. Yeah, they had their beef.
Hey, this like a discounted Dallas Cowboy. We like the discounted Dallas Cowboys.
No, we're not, because Jerry Jones spend money.
I got one thing,
and he won.
Oh,
he just ain't won in a long time.
Yeah, he won 3 championships. So I mean,
I got one thing.
Go ahead, White Mike.
And then let me go.
Y'all just realize this. We didn't name him interim. We named a 34-year-old man president of basketball operations.
Mm-hmm. No, it's the GM.
And if you're going to tell me that's not about money, I'm going to you're a damn fool.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. We are laughing stock of the NBA with a 34-year-old president of basketball operations who's never even been a GM. He hadn't been a GM yet. He's still not the GM. Because I'm telling you right now, this Landry is going to end up being the scapegoat of us going cheap and us going down. Because I just truly believe that Travis was not going to be a part of this kind of plan to what was going on in Atlanta, which is we're not making the right changes. We're not making the right decisions. And that comes from the top, man. That comes from the top. Ressler has put us in a bad position. And not to name that guy interim vice president tells me all I need to know.
And you know what? And we already went through this, fellas.
Yeah.
Same
That's
thing
why
we
they're
did
not gonna
with
get nobody.
Bud. But at least Bud was winning.
And what Travis is what at $7 million a year? They not going to.
Bruh, they wanted to get off that
and have to pay Travis.
He is cheap.
14 million. Then go get somebody else to pay him what 7, 8. They ain't pay. No, they're not gonna do all that.
Oh yeah, and Devon, by the way,
$2-3 million.
By the way, Devon, it was fun. When you put that in the Twitter chat about Masai Ujiri, I love Masai Ujiri. I think he's one of the better GMs. Wrestling paying him. Ressler would never pay him. Ressler, bro, he'll offer him $5 million and a bag of Cheetos and say, "Take it or leave it."
Yeah,
like,
guys, I'm gonna tell you right now. Man, the longer we go, hey, let me say this and then I come back to you, RJ.
Yeah.
The longer we go without a president of basketball operations, that's not good. That is not good because now guess what we have now? What's the chain? The chain of command is Nate McMillan, coach, Landry Fields, and the owner. That's not good. That's not a good chain of command.
And this is why Ted Turner was trash as an owner back in the days.
Well, that's because Ted Turner wasn't. He didn't really care about winning. He was worried about making up. Basically, he was trying to make the Hawks a brand back then because we had our own TV show.
Yeah, he had no GM. He had no GM. People like Mark West was getting drafted.
And please don't nobody compare Landry Fields to AA Alex Anthopoulos ever again. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
don't ever do it.
And the difference is this. And also I'm gonna tell you what the difference is when people use the Braves as an example. The Braves are excellent at developing young talent.
That's a good point. That's
excellent.
A real good point.
We just let Dansby Swanson leave because Vaughn Grissom is down there right now at Ron Washington's house. He's training with Ron Washington to play that shortstop position.
Hey, who like Nate? Who like Nate on this channel? Who like Nate?
Me.
I'm a Nate supporter.
I'm a Nate supporter.
I already said he can get the hell up out of here.
Gerald.
I'm a Nate supporter.
So I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this right now. You can tell Nate ain't trying to develop no players from the way he stand on the sideline, and not even try to support the players on a call. Right. So he ain't trying to do no developing. He ain't developing his own strategy as a coach.
Nope.
But when it comes to developing, though, man, that comes from the top down, man. That comes from like ownership at the top.
Yeah, he comfortable.
You know.
Anybody tracking that right there? Big O. What did he say? Did he say something? What did DeJounte say? Who tracking that? Because I don't got Twitter. Nothing.
Trey and Collins already came out and spoke, but I'm sure Murray is not happy.
Well, maybe them John Collins rumors will die down now.
John didn't seem too happy. I mean,
hey, look. Did y'all read the tweet that Rose put? Hey, Rose put all that about Travis leaving at the end. John Collins still on the trade block.
You're not going to, as a player, you're not going to post a happy tweet of one of your superiors being gone.
Yeah, you ain't gonna do that. Yeah,
that's not.
They interviewed him. I mean, but
yeah, but you're not gonna say that.
DeJounte know he ain't getting no money. That's what it is.
Oh no, DeJounte finna get paid. You ain't worried about that.
Yeah, he ain't gonna get no money, dog.
He don't get it from us. He'll get it from somebody.
But
he ain't worried about that.
That's what I'm saying. He ain't get it from Atlanta.
Hey, Damon.
I got a question.
Hey, Damon.
Matt? What's up, Matt?
They just made Nick Ressler the executive vice president of business and basketball operations.
What the?
Well, we just making up titles today, huh? We just.
I told you, man.
Bro, I'm going back to bed. I can't do this. I can't take this. No way.
Executive vice president of business and basketball operations. I didn't see it all.
Listen to me.
I've seen it all.
When I say the owner is cheap,
this a takeover.
When I say the owner is cheap, bro. He's being cheap. Now he got his son up in there. Listen,
he
Tony
can do that.
Ressler.
Ressler
and his son gonna be the reason the organization is about to start backtracking. The only
Bro,
way
that's like Master P. That's like Master P making Lil Romeo the president, executive president of Rap Snacks. What the fuck?
Man.
Hey, I don't think we're gonna.
Hey.
I don't think we're gonna backtrack.
bro,
Yeah,
we go back.
bruh.
Listen, man.
Gerald.
The team, listen,
I'll-
talent-wise,
Executive Vice President Gerald.
listen, talent-wise, the team can still compete and win games, right? The problem is
Thank
this.
you, Travis.
Now it's time to improve and improve the team, cut dead weight, and now you have a guy with, let's keep it real, that dude Nick and Landry. To me, they have zero experience. Okay, zero. Now you got Tony Ressler thinking he Jerry Jones, making his son part of the organization like Jerry Jones does with Steven. You know what I'm saying? But, and I'm gonna tell you right now, this Nick guy is about to fuck some shit up, personnel wise. He gonna fuck some shit up. So hopefully somebody, he got a confidant who can be like, hey, Nick, that's fucking stupid, dummy. Don't do it.
He gonna trade Trae Young to the Lakers.
You know what I'm saying?
They
So
got
and that's why I said
got a
the most important thing to me was getting a new president of basketball operations. And you go and we should have went and got somebody who's a proven executive. But since this dude, and this tells me something else, this move right here with Travis moving, this had to be, Tony Ressler didn't see this coming. He didn't see it. There's no way you see this move. You the owner, and you're like, you know what? I want to go ahead and replace this guy. What you do is, before you replace them, you already got people you've already scouted out. So when you do replace them, you could bring that guy in.
Travis
so for
quit,
Ressler to get rid of or Travis to come at, because I think Travis probably wouldn't have resigned.
Travis quit.
I think he probably wouldn't have resigned. Tony Ressler trying to think quick on his feet. Oh, let me just make Nick, because Nick dumbass probably think he know ball, and he probably don't. His ass probably need to be on this show with us. You know what I'm saying? Because what the fuck he know about basketball to be the fucking executive vice president of Hawks basketball? Besides being an owner.
His name Nick.
Hey, Demar, I just looked up his resume. It's Sterling.
Huh?
I looked up his resume. Y'all want to know his background before he got in this? He's been with the Hawks since they bought the team. Before that, he was a real estate developer for his dad's company.
What the
Man,
he has a
over here building like the Houston Texans. You know, they had what's his name in charge of the Texans, the old pastor who didn't know nothing about basketball. I mean football. Making business decisions.
I'm worried about getting Jordan Clarkson.
Oh yeah.
Clarkson.
Hey, you know what? Hey, like I always say, them owners, they just want to do whatever make the money. It ain't always winning. Ain't always the money maker. In
pro
sports, it is.
I believe.
That's the main money
I'm
maker.
just surprised.
I believe.
I mean, Grant Hill over there too, so I'm just surprised.
Bro, Grant Hill's
If you can win,
Matt know how I feel about Grant.
Like
Hill.
imagine how much the Braves profiting right now because they ain't paying Acuna and Ozzie what they supposed to be paying them.
That's different, Gerald, because once again, since the Braves was good at developing talent, when Ozzie and Acuna, well, everybody already knew Acuna was going to be a star anyway. That's why he was a top pick. But once they get up there and then they show you that they develop, then you lock them in early. Sort of like what what they try to do in football now. They get the young quarterbacks to.
But here's
does
the thing,
good.
man.
They try to lock them in early.
In basketball, you can't win on a budget, man.
You can't, bro. That's what I've been saying.
On the budget. You can't say, "Hey, man, this is my basketball team. I'm only willing to spend $100 million, and I want to go win a championship." My brother, that has never worked.
But every owner, their goal isn't to win a championship.
That is true. That is
but
true.
Guess what, Gerald?
That's why I've been telling y'all.
Gerald, we got
Ressler
on record
championship.
saying that's the way he wanted to bring a championship to Atlanta. He on record saying that.
Bro, you go off his actions.
No, but what I'm saying is this. But I understand No, I understand, Gerald. I
Mhm.
understand what you're saying. I'm just saying this. We got Tony Ressler on record saying, I want to win the championship. I want to bring a championship to Atlanta. So it kind of make him like a hypocrite. He shouldn't have said shit if he
Bruh.
just really about trying to, make his money.
Yeah,
But let me
that's
tell you
true.
something. You
Hey,
make more money in pro sports by winning.
Yeah.
Winning makes more money. You know why? Because when you win, it open up all type of avenues of income. Guess what? Ain't nobody buying no Hawks jersey if we at the bottom of the division. But guess what? You win a championship. Guess what's finna happen? Oh, they finna buy up all the trade jerseys, all the DeJounte jerseys, all the tickets finna be sold out. Ain't nobody coming, bro. I remember back in the day, you go see the
Well,
Hawks for almost free. They used to give away tickets
What?
to Hawk games.
Well, think about it like this, Damon. A lot of that stuff you said is true on paper in a perfect situation. However, if you look at it, I think the season ticket holder rate is already as high as it's ever been.
But
Like,
guess what, Gerald?
Yeah.
It's high now. What you think it's gonna be? Say the Hawks win a championship. We just speculate. Say they go win a championship next year, right? This year, right? You think them season ticket prices gonna be the same next year? Hell no.
Well,
They're finna raise the rates.
No, they I think when the season ticket holders get their contract, it's like a cap on how much it can go up regardless of the result. Like it go up regardless.
No, when you get season tickets, right? When you get the season tickets, you buy in at a certain rate, right? They got the rates for the game, depending on how you want your package to be. But it doesn't guarantee you that you can pay that same rate next year, because guess what? If the team is bad, then the season ticket price is gonna go down some. If you win, the ticket prices go up, and all that does, if you're a season ticket holder, it locks you into your tickets, but you gonna pay that price increase because now it costs more. Why? Because guess what? To win, you gotta pay to play.
Yeah.
You got to pay to play.
Yep.
And if you gotta rub that expense off us fans, I don't mind paying a little more. If we compete for championship, I'll pay prices. If we compete for championships, I'm paying. Because every team don't get to compete for championships. But guess what? I'm not paying top dollar to go see a 500 ball club. Not gonna do it.
Yeah.
But winning generates that money.
This
What's
is
up,
going
Mike?
to
What's
me,
up, White Mike?
I got let's take a turn and whoop it around, and everybody talk about what they think is the next thing to happen. And I'm gonna start it off. I believe that Travis lost a power struggle. I believe they wanted to make some changes and do things, or either Travis wanted to change head coaches. Something has happened where Travis lost a power struggle, and now he takes the honorable way out and steps to the side. So what I believe the next thing that's going to happen is you're going to see a trade, or you're going to see something happen. And whatever it is, you can write it down right now that Travis was not for it, and therefore they moved him to the side. That's my prediction.
You know what I think gonna happen? And then I go to you, Matt.
I agree with that.
This is what I think gonna happen. Now that Matt gave us that last bit of information, think about it, guys. So now you got Travis fired, okay? Landry, who was recommended by Nick, is your coach.
Yeah.
I mean, is your GM / whatever. And now the executive, his boss, is the same dude who recommended him for the position. So now they happy. Nick, it probably was a power struggle between Nick and Travis. I bet it was. So now you got Nick, Landry. Now they happy, right? Now I bet you Collins gonna get traded, because I think Travis was holding out, trying to probably get a first round pick for Collins or something better. They probably going with the Nick and the Landry Fields regime. They probably gonna get rid of John for some bullshit or for whatever they think we need. That's what I think gonna happen. Now, will other trades follow? To me, that would determine by what's our record and how we're playing. But I do believe that John Collins will be, regardless of how we're playing, he probably gonna be gone by the deadline.
Yeah, and I'll say this, right? Y'all know, even though I'm a Travis guy, I've given him, some heat here and there. But I'm gonna tell you what he probably thought coming from Golden State. He probably looked at his situation in Golden State with Bob Myers, that owner over there, Joe Lacob, and said, well, he willing to spend the money. Okay, I can go to Atlanta. I can build my own. But guess what? When them rookie skill deals ended, and it came time to sign them checks, and he told Ressler, he was like, all right, it's time. It's
My phone died.
For that blasphemy that you were spewing earlier. Anyways,
that's that karma on you right there. That's that karma.
No, I'm just playing. But Travis probably thought that he was coming to Atlanta with an owner that was willing to spend. Because think about it like this, right? We had a mid-level exception that we could have used. Okay. You telling me both Landry and Travis did not want to use the mid-level exception to make the team better in an offseason where they were trying to make wholesale changes. And then we go out there and we dump Kevin Huerter's salary and we sign 2 minimum guys.
Sorry,
To me, like, even though, you can blame whoever, to me, that's ownership. Why in the world why are you coming to me telling me, well, you go over the tax, you're fired? I'm like, well, wait a minute. You said you want to be a championship. Name me the last championship team that won without being in the tax. Name me the last championship team that won without being in the tax.
I think it's more Gerald.
Exactly.
Not that you can't go into the tax.
All I'm trying to say is that, listen, I've given Travis fault on the Clint Capella extension and the 2 coaching hires, right? I believe those are 2 bad hires. But to me, this just showed me. And lately I've been, I know DeMond been saying it. Lately I've been like, all right, Ressler is cheap. And then this just confirmed it right here. This just confirmed it. We need new Nick Ressler is the executive of the Atlanta Hawks.
Joke.
What? This is some Nick stuff right here.
I told you he just want to make some money. He just want to make some quick.
We need a press conference. That's what we need. And I hope them reporters ask some real questions.
Yeah, they won't.
Like,
Yep.
what's the
They ain't gonna get in front of that camera.
I'm gonna tell you though.
Wrestler
You better
cowards
listen.
to get in front of that
They'd be glad
Look,
I don't have press credentials. I'll probably get mine taken
As
after
an
my
Atlanta
first press
Hawks
conference.
fan, and like you guys, I think this is the big thing here. We're so used to stuff like this not working out, and we get pissed off. But if it works, then you look like a genius, and if it don't work, you look like an idiot. So if it works,
Bro,
I don't think it's gonna work because like White Mike said, like White Mike said, it's already reports right now that Travis and Landry had several disagreements about core pieces about trades involving core pieces of the team. Last year, they reported last year that Landry wanted to trade Bogdanovich and a first-round pick for what's his name? Derek White. And Travis had to be like, nah, man, that ain't the right move. But I think this year Travis is probably like, we can make 1 or 2 moves and get where we're trying to go. And Landry and them is probably like, nah, we need to do like a wholesale flip. And he probably was like, I don't agree with that. So they probably had, a back and forth. And then
my man, a wholesale flip. We just came out of that.
He's not saying that.
Exactly. I'm not saying I'm saying when I say wholesale flip, I mean like 2 or 3 like core players like Collins.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I'm talking about core. Huh?
He's not saying that either. John might be the only one, but he's not saying that about multiple core players.
No, I'm saying if the reports already are in the Athletic, other outlets are already saying they've had several disagreements involving traits of core players on the team between Landry and Travis.
My theory, why?
Okay. It's just, to me, and then last year, like I said, the whole Bogdanovich thing, if this guy valued Derek White at Bogdanovich in the first-round pick, God knows, if you want to let Bogdanovich go back, God knows the type of value he got attached to Okongwu, Jalen Johnson, AJ. But I'm telling y'all, like, This man already said Travis values the offensive side of the ball. I value defense. I value basketball IQ and defense. Landry's already said that. He said, when I scout players, I look for defense first, then IQ. So I'm like, you're not built like that.
Bad. That's not bad.
We're not in the era we sit.
No, it's not bad. But
I'm not saying defense is bad. I'm not saying that.
You have to change around. You have to change around several pieces for that, Damon. Because we don't fit that identity right now.
Well, you don't listen.
Fit that.
Listen, guys. Listen. Let me tell you what's not gonna happen. Okay, this team is not gonna get blown up. Okay, what's gonna happen is, like most general managers and people who come in the front office, they want their guys. Now, what we could see is with Landry Fields valuing defense, maybe we can see, and I'm a shout out ATL Kool-Aid drinker. Hey, this is first time up here. He stay in the chat. Hold on, I'm gonna start what I got to do.
We can see.
He in the chat all the time. What's good, my guy? He finally on the show. What's good? What's your thoughts today, baby? Hold on, I gotta hear this guy, man. Hey, cut your TV down, ATL.
All right, let me cut it down, man.
You gotta cut the YouTube off.
What's your thoughts today, baby? Hold on, I gotta hear this guy. Well, can you hear me? I cut the TV
we got
down.
you. You good?
Hey, this is the deal, man. What had happened? I've been watching the team. Like I go all the way back to, like I say, I'm a Hawks fan. Oh man, you see the gray. I've been in it for a long time. All the way back to, I worked with the dentist that was the Hawks doctors and stuff. So I went to a lot of games. I've been to Hawks all the way, Dominique, Tree Rollins, all the way back there with them. So, but what I got to say, what's going on today, is that I had told y'all 2 years ago, y'all see me in the chat.
Yep.
I told y'all that Nate was gonna get Travis fired. Told y'all that. It finally came to roost. The deal is that, like you said, Damon, Travis had an ideal about building this team like Golden State. But what happened was that when his problem was when he started that build, he got the wrong coach and Coach Pierce. I was a season ticket holder. I went to every game complaining about Coach Pierce. I said, Coach Pierce he ain't the right coach around Trae Young to build around that and start to rebuild. So that was the problem right there. Okay. So when Pierce got to the point where I knew he was going to eventually get fired, Nate came in. The only reason he got Nate because Nate was the interim coach. He was already on the coaching staff. I don't think that was Travis' intent to go with Nate, but I think what happened was that Nate ended up making a deal with Travis and saying, well, if I get him to this certain point, you're going to give me the contract. Because everybody wanted him to give Nate the contract before he even got to the conference final. Everybody like, why they just don't give him the contract? Why they just don't give him the contract? And Travis was holding out. And so I think he made a deal where he said, well, you get me to the conference final, I give you the contract. So what happened when he got the contract? Now this is what the deal was. Now, if you look at Travis' picks, he was still trying to build with the concept of Golden State. When he went and got Cam, because I was mad because he didn't get Bobo. That was me. I just like the Bobo. I thought he should have went bigger and getting Bobo getting the 7'2" guy
he was a free
to play
agent
with Trae. See, so then what I'm saying that what happened as progressing is that by him not doing it, he got Cam and stuff like that. So he was still building his team to be flashy, shooting and everything. But Pierce just wasn't the coach to coach his team. Now, if you look at who he was trying to get, who his picks he got after that, when he went and got Coop and Jalen Johnson, he was still trying to build. Now, when he went and got Coop, he was trying to get a similar point guard that was similar to Trae.
Exactly.
But what happened when he got Nate had started the process of starting to rebuild this team in the way Nate want his team. So now the heads start budding. So I don't know if y'all seen him. I don't know. Analysts responded back when I said, "Is this Travis in the chat 2 games ago?" You remember the analyst? Mm-hmm. Did I ask you that? And I would actually believe, and I tested the guy when I was talking to the guy in the chat, and I asked him, "Was he Travis?" and I tested him about Silver. I asked him, why did y'all trade? Why did y'all get rid of Silver? He said, the guy who just took his spot said that was his call to send him down. Cause I thought you needed another big man. So I just tested Travis to see was that Travis for real. Cause I only thought that anyone who was fake would not know that. So when I was talking to Travis while y'all in there, Travis said, I get good players. I just got bad coaches. That's what he said in the chat. So I said to him, I said, well, you know, Nate gonna get you fired. He said, well, Nate begged me to go get the Holiday brothers. He tweeted me and tweeted me and tweeted me over and over again to get the Holiday brothers. So what happened is that in actuality, Nate got rid of all the bench players that was on the conference championship team. He didn't want none of those guys. He hated Tony Snell. He didn't want Tony Snell back. He didn't want Bruno back. He didn't want the other who was the other guy on the bench? I think it was the Nathan. Dude from the church college, wherever his name was. The dude was really
gone,
good.
Solo gone.
Yeah, so he got Solo. He got all of them guys gone. And so what he did, he wanted to build a defensive team. And when he went and got DeLon Wright and TLC, and then he built this team. Now, I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna let it go. What is happening now is that Nate is going to be gone next. If you all notice, I kept putting in the text, do y'all know Lombardo? Y'all know anything about that coach?
Mm-mm.
Y'all don't know anything about him?
Nah, I got to do some research on him.
Okay, do your research on him. They brought this guy in. You remember, so when Nate came in, he built his coaching staff, right, the way he wanted to try to protect his job. So, but what happened was that to open up beginning of like June or July, the ownership and Travis and whatever the guy who just took over Travis' spot, they hired a new coach. They hired this coach.
Oh, that's he's supposed to be a defensive guy.
Assistant, right? Exactly.
Yeah, he just came from SAC, but he was on the bench.
He's a New York guy too.
Yeah, he was on the bench for the Celtics when they won the title, and he was on the bench for the Cavs when they won the title in 2016. Yeah, I know you're talking about.
Exactly. So watch what I'm telling you. The owner is a New York guy.
He sure is, ain't he?
Yep. He's a New York guy. And by this guy having some place, what they finna do, they finna replace Nate with this guy. Watch what I'm telling you.
Hey, I listen.
You
can make a decent argument. I mean, that's a decent argument now. Don't get me wrong. Especially what I just seen how this front office just moved with making old Nick Ressler the executive.
That was such a clown.
I could see it happening because
Nick, good old Nick.
That's what it's lining up, because now you got Nick.
They had a better chance hiring me as a GM.
Hey, Nick got his guy Landry. Now Landry and Nick can go get their guy, whoever the coach, which could be old Buddy. But even if they say I went with that theory, right? Kool-Aid, say I went with that theory, that still doesn't solve our issues on the court offensively.
Right.
So I mean, it's like we making a lateral move.
Listen what I'm going to tell you.
If this dude was some type of offensive juggernaut or like some up and coming savant, like you would say, like a Todd McVay is at the NFL, then I could really get behind something like that. But I don't see us making him in charge. It just be a lateral movement if the offense doesn't change.
Listen. Can you hear me?
Yeah. You good?
Okay. Listen what I'm finna tell you. The problem is that you remember when the New York guy was here, he said everybody jealous about the team we got. We got good players. The problem is that, and I don't know if y'all heard Nate on the radio today. He actually re-said the same thing that Matt Barnes said about him today, about himself. That came out of his own mouth.
Okay. What did Nate say? Say it.
Nate said what Matt Barnes said. Nate said that I am not a coach of these young players. I
did
come
read
from
that.
the old team and I come from old coaching, and these players of the day is not for that. And that's the same thing that Matt Barnes said about him, and it's time for him to move on. So he repeated that.
Well, I did read that. I read that. Yep, Nate did say that. Yep. Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So
and his
now
style-
Nate is making
style is
preparation in
outdated.
his mind to get ready to be replaced.
I mean,
See what I'm saying?
Hey,
The
Matt,
problem is that
I think you know this is
ATL.
last
I'll say
year.
this. Hey, I'll say this real quick, Kool-Aid, and then I'll let Matt go. Let's be honest here. Not even Nate coaching style, as far as it has to do with how he deal with players, but as a Nate McMillan supporter, I can't sit here and not say that what Matt and analysts has been saying about the offense isn't true. He's terrible on the offense. He had us looking terrible on the offensive side. So him getting replaced just due to us being a shitty offensive, I'm only saying shitty because I'm comparing it to how we played and ranked last year offensively. So this year would be shitty right now. He should be fired just off of that alone, off the way we play on the offensive side of the ball. He not getting maximum of what we should be getting out of our players on the offensive side.
I disagree on that.
And see, Matt Barnes. This is what Matt Barnes said. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good, you Gucci.
Okay, so when Matt Barnes and Matt Barnes and a dude named Landry who used to play for Nate, what Nate ended up doing, he killed camaraderie, man. He kills camaraderie in the locker room. By him killing camaraderie in the locker room, that's what kills his teams, according to Matt Barnes and another player that played with him.
Yeah, I forgot who that other bum was up
His
there.
name was Landers or something like that. And so it kills camaraderie. So what happened is that everybody in the locker room is playing with a heavy heart. It ain't just, let me tell you something. It's not just Trae Young complaining and having problems with Nate. It's the players on the bench. I'm gonna tell you right now, Big Frank Tank. See, Travis gave, and I know you didn't like Dane, you probably don't like Frank, but the problem is these were 2 7-foot players to be backup centers, and Nate refused to play those players. If he was gonna prove Travis wrong, now let's listen to what I'm saying. If he was gonna prove Travis wrong about his players that he was gonna get, then he should have at least played his big man backup players as a backup center.
But you got
that was the problem right there.
But Kool-Aid, you can't look. Dang is not a big who play in the paint. He never has been. That Dang dude.
That's not the point I was making. It ain't the point about playing in the paint. Dang was a 3-point shooter.
But we didn't need him.
We need rebounding.
No, it's not the point what I'm making.
So
the point I'm making. It's not the point about the point I'm making. That's not the point I'm making about what he cannot do. The point I'm making is that Travis got Dane to be the backup center, and Nate refused to play him. Travis got Frank to be the backup center, and Nate refused to play him. So what Nate was supposed to do is play him as the backup center, whether he was good or bad. So he was there to be a backup center. So if he was going to play bad, then that would have showed up and looked bad on Travis' behalf for getting a bad backup center. But they was there to be the backup center.
So Kool-Aid, so is your, correct me if I'm wrong, is your point that Nate refused to play, and we'll just use those 2 guys. He refused to play those 2 to make Travis look bad? Or am I missing that? Am I missing the point?
Not to make him look bad.
He should have played him to make Travis look bad.
No, not to make him look bad. It wasn't to make him look bad. I just think that those guys wasn't the guys that Nate wanted. So when Nate don't want a guy, he don't play him.
So Nate and Travis never been on the same sheet of music as far as personnel.
Exactly. Because
Coop,
he did not like Coop, because Coop and Jalen was knocking on the door saying, you ain't gonna play me, send me back.
And that's why Cooper That's why Sharif Cooper, and I think I said this in the show. I think Sharif Cooper requested to get released because
Exactly.
and I say the same thing. If you look at Sharif Cooper, his play style, not saying he's good as, his play style is similar to Trey Young.
Exactly.
So when Cooper came up to the we had him on a two-way deal because we got him in the second round, so there was no rush. Fast forward, boom, boom, boom. This summer league that just passed, he played like shit. We all saw it, right? We went back. Now we gave him an NBA contract before summer league. Then after he played shitty, we reneged on that contract and gave him a two-way contract. Right after we give him the two-way contract, the next day or the day after that, we release him. And I believe he requested that release because
he didn't want to play with Nate.
Right, because he went to Cleveland just to go back to the G League. And I'm like, dude, you could have been in the G League with us. So listen, what you saying, Kool-Aid? I mean, you can make an excellent point. You know what I'm saying? Excellent point.
And see, they made Nate play Jalen Johnson. Nate did not want to play Jalen Johnson.
Bro, didn't I say that at the beginning of the year? I said
he told Jalen Johnson. There was a comment in the press. Nate said Jalen Johnson was like a deer in headlight, and he told Jalen Johnson, but everybody had to be hurt before he play him. Bro, that's what he told. That's what he said to Jalen. Now think about how Jalen Johnson feel about himself right now playing for Nate.
I said that at the beginning of the year because I said when Jalen Johnson's on the court, it looked like he don't have a purpose out there. Like it looked like somebody just said, "Hey, you know, like in rec ball, how you just put a kid out there because they have to play." That's what it looked. Jalen Johnson. It looked like Nate just said, "I'm gonna put him out here."
One of those 10-day contract guys.
Because I have to play him, but I'm not gonna give him no specific role or anything to do.
That was one of the players Travis forced Nate to play.
Yeah. And that's the same thing with AJ Griffin. You know, if we being honest, we wouldn't even saw AJ Griffin if they didn't force him to play him.
No,
the fans want to ask for AJ.
The only reason
Nate wouldn't have played him.
Bro, the only reason he got that game time was due to injuries. If we don't have these injuries, AJ never gets those minutes. And the best thing AJ did when he got that opportunity, unlike Jalen Johnson, when AJ got his opportunity, he ain't bullshit around with it. He said, I'm gonna play so good, you have to play me. You ain't gonna have a choice but to play me. You know what I'm saying?
Listen to me. Hey, check this out. Trey liked playing with Kaminsky, man. Trey liked playing with Kaminsky.
He likes that size.
Go look back at that last game with Kaminsky coming in the fourth quarter when Nate had to play him, and look how Trey responded with that guy, throwing the ball behind the back to him at the 3-point line, and he dropping those threes, and he missed that no look pad with that him and Kaminsky had been playing together long. So that no look pad that Kaminsky supposed to went in that he threw the bad pass to, Kaminsky just didn't respond the way because going toward the basket because he's been playing with Clint Capella like that. But if you look at those play and see, then you turn around and he played in that game, this last game, and Clint Kaminsky did not touch the floor. And what makes it so bad? Nate is playing too short of a bench. The team that we went to the conference final with when Nate became interim, he played a 10-man bench. Actually, he played a first five and a second five for a large percentage of that. And so when you're talking about going in the third to the fourth quarter, you got tired legs, man. Tired legs gonna start missing shots.
Yeah,
you can't burn. You can't run a 7 and 8 game rotation like that and not burn your team up and be wondering why they're tired going into the fourth quarters.
We brought that up.
Everybody.
I brought that up beginning of the season. I was like, why is Nate doing the playoff rotation in game 3? Why are we playing 8 dudes? I was like, what the hell? What are we doing here? Hey, let me introduce my guy Maurice back up in the building. What's your thoughts on today's move, Reese?
I'm gonna try to be quick because I don't know. My phone is trash. My might be giving out, as y'all know. It always cut out on me for some reason. But I'm gonna say straight up, man. It always seemed like when you go back and look at this team, this organization, it always seemed like shit don't ever line up right when it's supposed to. So we always slightly off from where we need to be. So it was like when we came in, I was thinking about this the other night. When we had Danny, going back to Danny Ferry, when we had Danny Ferry, because I'm talking about this because it's under Ressler's ownership. We had Ferry here. He brings in his guy Bud. He brings in Bud, who has been on San Antonio, a winning organization for 19 years. He has a ring, he has the cachet to come in and take a bunch of middle of the pack guys that nobody's heard of and say, hey, buy into my system, what we doing, and I'll get you there. We have that. So next thing you know, we go into the playoffs. We backpedal up in the playoffs because we dealt with injuries and still got there. We come in as AC, we bust Indiana's ass with guys they never even heard of. Because normally it's always us getting our ass busted by the Shelf and Max of the world and the Mike Scotts. But if for once we did it to somebody else. Now fast forward, the scouting report comes out, Danny Ferry's let go. That kind of, to me, derailed what we was doing with Bud. That threw everything off because then Bud became president of basketball operations, took on a role he knew nothing about. As a result, the rest is history. Kent Bazemore gets a contract he shouldn't have had, and he been out there. We get forced to play the guy. The team, we start losing pieces that we should have kept. Got him, didn't get anything for him when they left. He's up and left. But it goes back to just everything being a shift off. So like let's say we needed a superstar with those Bud teams, right? We didn't have a superstar. Everybody said, oh, who we gonna get to take the last shot? But we had the system in place. Everything else was in place. We just needed a star. Didn't have it. Joe Johnson was one regime over. If Joe Johnson had played with Bud in that 60 win team, we might have been straight. But it didn't happen that way. So fast forward to now, we get a superstar, but we had to tank to get him. Bud don't want to tank. Bud leaves. So we lose the coach and the system. Now what do? Going back to what Kool-Aid said, Schlenk should have brought his guy in from the get-go. There was no reason to go bring in a coach from a losing organization that had no success this entire time. So now we bring in Lloyd Pierce to helm this rebuild. He damn near runs all the players off, grinds everything out. So what do? To save face, they bring Nate McMillan, who just got fired, put him on Lloyd's bench. He was there. When you look back and look at this shit, Nate didn't want to take that job because when Lloyd Pierce got fired, he was reluctant to take the job. Remember, everybody kept asking him to, and he didn't want to do it. I don't think that Nate actually wants to jump back into coaching right away. I think that what happened was I don't know. It was just like it was our year at that point. Nate came in because everyone was shocked that Nate did what he did in the playoffs. It wasn't even like, and DeMar, me and you had this conversation before in New Pack City. You had said that you felt like everything just kind of came together at the right time. And that's essentially what it was, because that was a one-hit deal. Because what happened was Nate took Lloyd's playbook, ran with it, and then, did what he did. Coming in the next year, he got the contract because at that point, our hand was kind of forced. It was like, how do you not get this guy a contract? He got us farther than any other team has taken us. So as a result, that's why he ended up getting that contract. But it goes back to all the way to the beginning. When you go in to get your guy, go get a guy that you're familiar with, from a winning organization, and start going from there. Because going to getting a coach from a losing organization who don't know nothing about winning, coming in coaching a bunch of young guys that's just coming in the league, don't bode well for you. And then after that, you go get a coach who doesn't really have a successful record in the playoffs, and he happens to just get lucky. It's just kind of like, spells for disaster. So now, like Kool-Aid said, you got Travis trying to build his team with his players, and then you got Nate trying to coach with his style, which don't mesh because they don't have the same vision. And like I said,
you know what, Reese?
Now.
You know what, Reese? You know what?
What's up?
See, now you got now I'm thinking, and I'm reading what Dave said. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking. So hey guys, let's think back. Travis never wanted to fire Lloyd Pierce. That was an ownership kind of insisted that we move on from Lloyd Pierce. Makes me now I'm thinking back. What was the purpose? Does anybody know? Because I can't remember off the top of my head. I got to go back. Who put Nate McMillan on Lloyd Pierce's staff? Did Lloyd Pierce go get him, or did Travis put him up there?
Travis put Nate McMillan on Lloyd's staff. That was a Travis signing back then.
So Travis,
I thought it was Lloyd Pierce.
Nah, I'm
Nate said that Lloyd went up to Indiana and sat down with him multiple times, asked him to come down.
I could have sworn that was a Travis decision on that one.
So okay.
I mean, he probably said,
I
yeah,
think it was
but-
Lord.
He
I
probably
think it
said
was Lord
okay.
Pierce.
Because if you
Because
look,
I'm thinking right. So Travis come in, okay. He blows up the team. Now I understand going to get Lloyd Pierce, because Lloyd Pierce, even though he had never been a head coach, he was in Philly, and I forgot his other stop before Philly, and he was known as not a head coach. He was known as somebody who develops players, which we can all agree, developing players and being a head coach is two different things, right? So you get Lloyd Pierce to develop the young talent that Travis is going to draft. This is where I think Travis messed up at. When you realize Trey is a star, right? I think he should have moved on from Lloyd Pierce there, because at that moment when that player thinks he's a star and navigating through the NBA, I think we should a more veteran coach with a little bit of cachet would have been better for Trey Young at that time. And obviously, guys, I'm speaking out of hindsight, obviously, but and I think that started kind of like a breakdown between and this is just my opinion, in the front office and like with the coach, because then we're losing. Travis as a GM has a plan, a 5-year plan, 7-year plan, whatever. His plan didn't call for Lloyd Pierce to be fired at that time, because that was Trey year 3 when Lloyd got fired. So yeah. I don't think his plan called for a new coach then. Fast forward, you fire Lloyd Pierce with some with some pressure from ownership. Now you're forced to hire a coach. So since Travis wasn't going to fire Lloyd Pierce, he didn't have no other coaches in mind. So you fire Pierce. Who's the next? Who's the best available that you could put there quick? Nate McMillan. And the reason I asked who went and got Nate McMillan is because let me think. Who got Nate McMillan was because if Travis as a GM went and got Nate McMillan, then I'm thinking, okay, Nate McMillan is the type of coach that he wants to take us to another level from where we're at the time. So what y'all telling me that Lloyd Pierce went and encouraged Nate to come down. Now it really makes me, now I know that Nate McMillan.
That's why Nate was loyal to him.
Now I know Nate McMillan was not a Travis guy. Now I'm really wondering. That's why I keep saying Travis, damn, he should have went and got the coach that he wanted.
Yeah.
That's what he should have did, man.
I think what was going to happen. I think
bro,
so
Nate McMillan was never a Travis guy to begin with, which makes it even funnier to me. Because then guess what? You put a coach that as a general manager you really don't want. You put him in charge, and then what's the worst thing that could happen? We actually go and win.
Well, I think
that was like a full court shot.
Yeah. Damon, could I say something?
Yeah, go ahead, man. And then
I think everything you were saying is basically right, but I think what the deal was with Travis was that his intention was to go and play that year out, win or lose, and then get a new coach. But I think the front office forced him, like you were saying, to go ahead and fire Pierce before he wanted to. His intent was Pierce was supposed to be a temporary coach. And what happened was that during that season, when they was looking sort of bad with the moves that they had made, I think the front office had the intention to try to win then and hoping they could win with Coach Pierce. But when they did not win with Coach Pierce, Travis' mindset was like, this was going to be Coach Pierce last year. It depends on no matter what the Hawks look like, and then he was going to go get a new coach to put around Trey them. I mean, a big name coach, a good coach.
Yeah, because that was Trey's.
Exactly.
That was Trey's third year.
Right. And so what we're going, and like you said, what happened, the front office sort of forced him to make that move before he wanted to.
Yeah, he didn't want to, because think about it. I think we were, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, when we fired Lloyd Pierce, we was like 9 or 10 games under 500, right?
Correct.
I was already looking, I'm already thinking lottery. I'm like, okay, we're going to the lottery. Let's hope we get a good position. But ownership, according to the rumors, they wanted us to win. Let me change that. Not want us to win. They thought we should have been better than what we were. Because this is year 3 with Trae Young now. They thought we should be better than what we were. We was about 8, 9, 10 games under 500 at the All-Star break. So you fire Lloyd Pierce. You hire Nate McMillan because you just put him there because it's a last-minute thing. Because Travis didn't want to get rid of Lloyd Pierce at the time. He wanted to, and I've said that tons of times. He wanted to ride it out and get that pick and continue to build through the draft. So him being forced to fire Lloyd Pierce probably caught him off guard. He probably didn't really have time to go try to interview anyone. So he said, "You did, Nate McMillan. Can you be the interim coach?" Then it goes back to what Annis was saying. Nate had that loyalty to Lloyd. That's the only reason he's down here was to Lloyd. So that's why he was reluctant to take the job. They put the interim on him. And like I said, the worst thing Travis could hope for happened. We started winning. We won 8 in a row as soon as he took over. Next thing you know, we make it to the conference finals, which I keep saying is a fluke. You know, we made it to the conference finals. So what's the boy name? Tony Ressler probably sitting here thinking, I knew it. See, I knew we was better than what we were with Lloyd Pierce. So we go to conference final, then they go in. Now I'm wondering, was re-signing Collins, extending Capella. Now I'm wondering, was that really an all Travis thing, or was Travis getting some influence? Like, hey, we need to run it back because we did A, B, C, and D to get some influence from the front office. See, now it's all type of shit going through my head now, man. But
I think it's
I'll let y'all talk because I'll go down a rabbit hole. Go ahead, Matt.
I think it's a mixture of both. Clearly Nate was not Travis's guy because, like I said, if you go and look at the people he was scheduled to interview that summer, they were all offensive coaches. They were all younger than 50 or around 50. They were all newer coaches. I believe like 4 of the 6 names that came out were first-time head coaches, but they were all offensive or had a reputation as being offensive coaches, and they were all at least had the reputation of being X's and O's focused, like heavy tacticians, which is something Nate is not. So I think when they made the conference finals, he like, well, shit, damn if I do, damn if I don't. If I don't hire him and we have a worse year next year, then I'm gonna look bad. But if I really don't want to give him a long-term contract because I know he's the same coach that then got fired from Indiana and Portland, but I'm kind of forced, and I just think he thought he had more time. Let's ride out this year. We're gonna probably be a first-round exit, and then this summer I could go and get the coach that I really want to ride it out these next 2-3 years to the end of my contract is over. And then we'll go from there. But I don't think he anticipated that he probably had. That's what I said. Like, he was probably hesitant to go into the tax this year as opposed to next year because he thought he had more time because of his contract.
you talking about Travis, right? You talking about Travis?
Yeah. Travis my contract isn't up until next year anyway.
See, Matt, now I'm wondering. See, That was my theory. Oh, Travis scared. Now it's kind of switched. I'm like, maybe Tony Ressler told him, "Hey, this is the budget. I'm not trying to spend this much amount of money because we're gonna pay this much in tax. Cause, bro, why else would you trade Kevin Herter?
That makes no
And
sense.
That was a Nate call. That was
before y'all respond. I know we needed defensive help. I knew
that was Nate call right there. That was Nate call to get rid of Herter.
It was.
Nate call. Nate wanted a defensive player.
I think it was Nate's call. But guess what? When Ressler probably sat down with Travis and Landry, whoever's doing negotiations, me personally, I think there was probably a better deal. We could at least got back a shooter. But then when Ressler looked at it and said, "We can save some money in this, and we can get a pick. Let's do it."
And then
Travis, don't you go do that. That's going to bring us in more.
You know what, analyst?
Remember, Gary Trent Jr. was offered, but he making more money, so that wasn't going to happen.
And you know what? See, now I'm thinking all type of stupid shit. Now you know what? Now I'm thinking,
I got
maybe Nate might not be out of here because Nate is supposedly. Listen to me, y'all. Tell me if I'm crazy. Nate is supposedly to be a defensive coach.
Yeah.
Landry Fields, the GM / whatever he gonna be doing, values what, man? Defensive players.
Yeah.
So now I'm wondering.
Nate gone, man. Trey want him gone. Listen to me. Trey want Nate gone.
Yeah, I do
Big
think
Big Frank already went and knocked on the door and said, "I'm not playing. I came from a championship team as a center, and Nate not playing me." I'm telling you, it is a lot of people knocking on the manager door complaining about not playing, and Big Frank is one. Just like when Coop them went last year, and Lima Pepper Lou them, and Cam Reddish knocking on the management door talking about Nate ain't playing me, and playing D-Lon right in front of me. These are the people that's playing. So what is going to happen? Nate is going to be gone. I'm telling you, Nate is gone.
I'm gonna tell you this though. Frank Kaminsky and those other dudes you name, they don't really have no pool. Now Trey,
but here's the
Trey
thing,
Young has pool. Now Trey Young knocking on the door.
But
Trey have knocked on the door, man.
But here's the
Trey have knocked on the door. Believe it.
Go ahead, analyst, and then White might go after analyst.
I'm just gonna say this.
Hold on, real quick, analyst. Shout out my boy IKBM, man. Knicks fan from Uncle Freezy's channel, man. If y'all ain't tapped in with Uncle Freezy, y'all make sure y'all go tap in over there. I was over there on their show last night. They real laid back, cool. I was on the show chilling. We talking ball, man. Make sure y'all go tap in with Uncle Freezy. Go ahead, analyst. My bad.
I'll say this, right? To me, this concerns me that I just thought about what you said, Damon, because not the whole Nate thing, but Landry being a general manager that is more of like on the other, because Trey and Travis was kind of like, they were locked step in the way that they wanted to play basketball. That's why when all that stuff came out, it was supposedly about, it wasn't just because they weren't getting along. It was supposedly about the offense, right? It was supposedly about the offense. And
Nate McMillan in the chat.
And it was supposedly about the offense. And so now that Trey's guy that he saw eye to eye with, and Travis is basically, let's be real, Travis is like, even if he stays for his contract, he has no more organizational pull. He has no more say so on what happens with the roster. If I'm Trey, I'm like, I gotta sit here and see eye to eye with this dude that think that we should be scoring 79 points a game and only give up 68. I mean, it's like, I don't know. I mean, that's a big question. But go ahead, Mike.
And I'm just gonna give y'all one perspective here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Travis wanted McMillan at all, and him winning changed everything.
Yep.
Because ain't nobody gonna tell me, and I'm White Mike, ain't nobody gonna tell me that Travis can fire McMillan after what he did, and the media not fry him. Stephen A was yelling, if you remember,
Yep,
why
I
did
remember.
they extended McMillan? Why haven't they extended McMillan? Travis had no choice but to even though he didn't want him, to extend him, because Travis would have been labeled and would have been ran out of Atlanta had he not hired.
They would have launched a racism
Like,
investigation.
Hey, if I may, I really think, man, from just listening to everybody, man, I really think we got some bigger issues with ownership, man. And there's really nothing we can, as a fan, or even if you hire the right GM, we got some serious issues with ownership, man.
You right, RJ.
If you got ownership stepping in trying to make basketball decisions, that is a huge problem for a franchise.
Hey, man, I've been here in Atlanta for a long time, man. Atlanta have always had problems with two things: management and coaches.
Yes.
That's where we lose.
And you know
Sometimes
what,
we
man?
get some of the best players, and management will get a bad coach, just like they did with Michael Vick.
Listen.
They got rid of Dan Reeves, who should have been around Michael Vick and went and won no championship, but you fired Dan Reeves and you left Michael Vick with some of the worst coach that you can do.
And you know what?
We'll get like Dominique. He didn't have no really, really good coaches either. I mean, he didn't have the top coaches at the time. I mean, we have had the best coaches with that Mookie Blaylock team and Matumbo team. That was a good team. But I mean, they had to go up against Jordan.
Because Mike Fratello did a damn good job while he was.
I mean, he did a good job, but I'm saying, but he wasn't the coach of the coach that could have got him to compete with Larry Bird. Then,
well, we wasn't gonna beat. Let's be real here.
I mean, we understand the era. We understand the era, but the thing is, when Dominique got to the point to be in the position to win a championship, guess what management did? They traded him. That was the year you could feel it in the air that Dominique was finally win the championship, and they traded him. It's always been a problem with Atlanta. Always, like you said, my man, management, ownership, and coaching has been the problem with Atlanta sports.
I'm gonna tell you like this, man. I'm gonna tell you like this. Piggyback off what RJ said, and I go to you, Matt. What Tony Ressler just did is, to me as a fan, is sports just blasphemy.
Yes.
Like, never put your freaking family members with zero experience within that field as a freaking executive in charge of making influential decisions. That's how you ruin your organization. And I just, you know what? And I hope he have a press conference, and I hope one of these reporters ask him, why in the hell is your son basically the president of basketball operator with zero experience?
Hey, I wish Chris Kirshner was still here to ask him that.
Yeah, you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I know. Chris Kirshner, he'll ask him. But like when he did, I could understand the moves with Trav. I could understand that. But see, I thought he was gonna say, you know what? Let me go find me a good guy, a good executive to go ahead to be the president.
Son.
When you say his son is bro, right then, I was like, we're fucked. Okay,
we got more issues than just Travis in the roster, bro. This is.
And I want to say this about the roster.
Y'all know well that Travis, if he's modeling us after Golden State, he would not have taken the cheap way out and not filled this roster out handcuffed.
And now, and like you say, Mike, now it's starting to make sense, man. It's starting to make sense. I think I should have been putting more of my blame. I mean, I gave Ressler blame.
Yeah.
But this is what I assume. I assume Travis, as the president, had more what's the word I'm looking for? More power, more sway than what I thought he has. Now I think this bullshit is because of Tony Ressler being cheap. Yeah. I think I should have put I should have put 90% of this shit on Tony Ressler by his damn self for meddling. Now
can I give you a thought? Can I give y'all a thought about Ressler in the money thing or not spending money?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is my thought, and this is my thought from the beginning. It's something that Giannis said. Giannis said when he was going back with Hart, Hart, I think his name Hart, was one who played for the Nets right now. He told me, he said, I'd rather play with Trey before I play with you. And so what he is doing, he is holding on to that money, hoping that he can get one of those players, a Durant,
man, that shit ain't
or a
finna happen,
Giannis.
bro.
And I don't think
he
want to spend that money
organization
with middle players. That's why I think.
If I'm Giannis, the last place I'm looking is Atlanta. Why would I want to come here with Nick in charge when I'm already winning in Milwaukee? Why would I come here?
I ain't talking about with Nate.
I'm talking about with Nick. What's his name? Nick who? Ressler?
He said he just made
Nick
that
Ressler.
point. It wasn't about the coach or who was coaching. But I think at the time he made that point, Pierce was still coaching.
Yeah, Trey
I think he made that point
Nick
for
and Trey
a
are
reason.
friends though. Nick
Hey, White Mike, I agree
friends.
with you on that.
I brought up
If we're
that.
not careful, man.
Did you hear me, or did we get
if the Hawks are not
no,
careful,
we heard you, Kool-Aid. Go ahead, RJ.
I was saying, man, if the Hawks are not careful, we're worried about losing superstars. We will lose superstars if we're not careful. Trey will be looking like I want out of here. DeJounte will say, I'm not signing no deal.
That's right.
I go to free agency, because what's happening right now is you got an owner that's overstepping boundaries right now.
Mm-hmm.
He's overstepping a lot of boundaries, and just listening to you guys, because there was one thing that I've noticed, man, during the draft. If y'all run it, every year,
I was on a chat, man.
we always trade back
so
to
what's
get
up?
more money. Have y'all noticed that in the second round, we always trade back to get like $1 million or something like that?
Cash considerations, baby.
And so to me as a fan, I'm always like, why are we always trading back to get $1 million? Like, bro, that don't even make no sense. We pass up some good talent in the second round too to do that.
Yep.
So that's something that's real concerning, man. But like I said, the Hawks, we're not gonna be able to win, man. If it's ownership, we're not gonna be able to win nothing
until this dude.
He tried to sell the team,
bro. Until this dude.
Yeah, I hope he must his background. He must be a really, really good finance dude, wrestler, and that's all he sees is money. Because but at the same time, like, I don't know. I think the roster, like I said, I think the roster is about to look totally different. Not saying this year, but in the next 6 months, I think the roster is going to look completely different.
You know what we're going to have to do, man? You know what we're going to have to do, fellas?
We're going downtown.
We're going to have to have another show and just try to figure out, like, what direction is this organization going to head in. And I hope they better have a press conference, and I hope them reporters in there, all y'all Hawk beat writers that's in there, y'all need to ask what makes Nick Ressler qualified to be the executive, basically the president of basketball operations for the Atlanta Hawks. What qualifies him? Because hell, I bet I know more about basketball and the Hawks than his ass do. The only difference between me and him, his dad the owner, so he probably got a little bit more insider knowledge. But no, and you know what, man? You know what? This is I wish we could just find an owner or find some executives who are actually Hawks fans, who actually want to see the team succeed, who actually
look at Steve Ballmer of the Clippers. He loves
who actually bleed, who've been following this team for a minute, understand Hawks fans' frustration on why we never win and have not won anything, since being in Atlanta. So we're gonna have a hard time, fellas. We're gonna have a hard time, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut the show, family, because we got a game tonight. So we're gonna be here for tune in Hawks post game live. Tune in tonight after the game. We're gonna be here. Y'all know what time it is. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Salute to everybody. Salute to all the day ones on the panel as usual. Guys, I guess we just gotta see. We just gotta see what's gonna happen, man. And like Pocket say, man, I'm with Pockets on this, man. We just got to. I'm gonna tweet them too. I'm gonna tweet him. I'm gonna tweet what's the not We Talk Hawks, Hawks Fans TV. He got press credentials. Somebody need to ask what makes this dude qualified to be the president of basketball operations, and keep
They're gonna stick Landry Fields out there. They're gonna stick Landry Fields out there. He gonna answer the questions, and then you ain't gonna see Tony, Nick. You ain't gonna see none of them.
I need to see Ressler. I need to see Ressler.
He gonna be reading off that PR statement.
I need to see Ressler. I need to see Grant Hill. I need to see all them. I need to see Steve. I need to see all of them sit up there with their suits and their water bottles right in front of them with that microphone. And I need to see them talking about. Explain to me, first of all, why would I devote Travis for Nick? That doesn't make any sense. And then I'm promoting Landry Fields, a dude who, listen, this is his first real gig. Okay, he hadn't even been the general manager for 3 months, and we're already talking about he gonna oversee basketball operations. Then you got this dude Nick coming in here who was a real estate agent and a scout coming over here running basketball operations.
Let's be real. What he scouted?
Exactly. Thank you.
Let's be real. They just threw that up there. He ain't no damn scout. We ain't.
Like,
what he scouting? Property,
bro. This dude looked like a real estate. He don't even look like this. This dude look like he
looked kind of sleazy. He looked kind of sleazy.
Like this is ridiculous, man. I need to listen, y'all. If I was a little bit, I'll be downtown, and I would be in that arena trying to get in there, and I would have asked Ressler that.
Yeah, we need one of them people with them press credentials. Hey, they need to ask that somebody.
You know, the biggest
that is
question.
One reason why I miss Chris Kushner. At least he'll ask some hard questions.
You know, I'm gonna be watching Ray Young's Twitter.
Yep.
Because I want.
He already congratulated Travis. He already said how good Travis was. So
if he starts tweeting them sad emojis, bruh.
Well, I'm not really worried about Trey. Trey ain't going nowhere, man. So I mean, even if Trey listen, Trey is owed so much money, and it would be so hard to move him. All the Hawks got to do is just say we waiting for an offer, just like the Nets did with Kevin Durant. They said, okay, this is what we want for Trey Young. If you're not gonna meet those demands, guess what? We ain't trading them, and that's all you got to do to hold out a player, man, because the player gonna play. It ain't like Trey gonna say, I'm not gonna play no games. You know what I'm saying? But don't get me wrong. I would not be upset if Trey said something like he wanted to leave. I mean, because I can understand that from a player's perspective. As a fan, I would be mad. But when I'm looking at it from his perspective, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked, because I'd be thinking some things too, like, who this dude Nick? Who this guy?
Exactly.
Who this dude is, man?
Come on,
this
about a real estate agent. This former real estate agent sit up, bro. Come on,
and if it's true that Trey and Nate really don't get along, and like I said, say that Nate is a Nick Ressler guy, that's just more, just more fuel to add to the fire.
No,
man,
they said him and Trey are friends, so Trey gonna be like, hey,
yeah,
buddy.
but guess what, Matt, you old enough to know, hey, we can be cool all damn day until I gotta work for your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true. But I think Trey gonna get what he. I think at the end of the, it's not gonna be now, but at the end of the year, I think Trey gonna get what he wants. He gonna say, "Hey, look, you gotta go."
Okay, like you said, or it could play in our favor. Maybe Nick could be talking to Trey. Hey, Trey, what do you think we should be doing right here? Maybe he values Trey's input. He got to value somebody's input, because he don't know he has no basketball experience at the NBA level, at any level. But fellas, let me hop off of here, man. Y'all know we're gonna be here right after the game tonight, man. So y'all tune in, man. Salute to everybody. Y'all got any last words real quick?
I'll start
with Matt.
I know he's gonna get a job real soon.
Go ahead, Matt. Last words.
Oh,
I think I cut you off.
I wish Travis well. I think, his contract is another 2 years, but I would not be surprised if a team come calling this summer, being like, "Hey, we'll buy him out. We'll take him."
What you got, White Mike? Any last words?
Yeah, we got a Tony Ressler problem. That's where this problem lies, and I don't see it getting better if we're adding another damn wrestler to the management.
And Analyst, you got any last words?
Listen, I'm. This is ridiculous. Not only do we find out that Travis is not that he's gone, we're replacing him with a former real estate agent. Y'all, we in for a bumpy ride. You know, I ain't got much more to say.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up when you say it like that.
Because it's fucked up.
It just sounds extra worse.
And guess what?
I'm gonna go put that on. I'm
I know
gonna
y'all
steal
can
that
see
quote, analyst. I'm gonna go put that on Twitter right now. And
y'all
tag
can
the
see me
Atlanta
right
Hawks.
here. Y'all can see me right.
Wrestlers cheap. All right, family. Hey, chat. Thanks for tapping in. It's your boys, man, and we're out of here. We'll catch y'all after the game tonight, man. Hawks up. Peace.
Switch that V6 for the EV. Ride it around my city. You should come right with me, yeah. Feel me if you hear me sip. Water like a fish sip. Box water to the gillies, yeah. This a new wave, this a takeover. Do it for the future, time to get a world of makeover. Time never stops, no the timing is not. Time to clean up the block. Streets been a mess.